Should have probably recorded yesterday. Welcome, you guys. It looks like the whole family cash machine is here. We're ready to get this video going. It's a great day today. You know, I'm excited. You guys should be excited. Bitcoin going back up. And we told you guys that's watching this video, that's been watching the family cash machine members for a while. We've been telling you guys that this is going to continue to go up. You're going to have periods when it goes down. But yesterday I failed to record, and I should have recorded because I talked about how some people they only see it when they see it going up, they want to get in, and that's really not the time to get in. It's time to get in is when it hit bottom, because we understand the undergirding functionality of this technology, which is something that has never happened in the history of the world of money. It's never happened in the history of the world of societies when it comes to money, with what's happening right now with the internet taking over money and the internet creating its own money, which is called cryptocurrencies. And so it's not going to be accepted by people readily right away. I'm looking at maybe 10, 20 years or so before this thing is accepted around the world. Closer to 20 years, and I'll tell you why. Because people are so used to attaching a physical object to things. You know, there's an old ancient saying in Egypt and Kemet, and the saying is that 90% of reality is unseen. 90% of reality is unseen. And I had to ponder on that for some time, and I said, wow, interesting. 90% of reality is unseen. So if that is true, let's evaluate that for a minute. Can we see oxygen? No, but oxygen and air, everything on this planet requires to have oxygen to survive. Even fire, without oxygen, fire can't breathe. And so oxygen is very key and essential, but you can't see it with the physical eye. And the other thing that's very prevalent on this planet is gravity. I mean, you don't see gravity physically, but if I jump off this building right here, I'll see gravity when I touch the ground, believe me. And so, you know, 90% of reality is unseen. So if that is the truth, and we know that everything we see through our eyes, different colors are really vibrations. Different colors are vibrations vibrating at a different level, which allows you to see a specific color. And even vibrations are felt when you see someone that you might fall in love with, or you guys have chemistry. It's a vibration that you guys encounter that's beyond the physical. But the physical is what most of us attach value to. And that's not really a good thing to attach value to, is the physical, because that's not really the definition of value. But I wanted to say this. We're going to approach money in a different way right now. I want to look at money in a different way, because we're going to have a lot of problems with the masses adopting this right here. Now, I can probably imagine the first guy who walked in a store with a credit card in the 50s with a piece of plastic, when everybody was used to this tangible fiat currency, and say, hey, put that on my card. They probably were like, huh, buddy? No, buddy, we'll pass on that, you know, see you later. So because people were so accustomed to fiat currency. Now, I want to say this, that how did we attach value to a physical object? And it's the first thing that people ask you in the cryptocurrency space. And I've even had that a lot to me, where people say, well, why are you using that? Like, you can't touch it. Like, I want a money that I can touch, that I can physically touch. And if I can't touch it, I don't want it. And that's what we get a lot in the cryptocurrency space. When I tell people, hey, it's a digital currency here, and you know, you can buy things with it. It's a digital currency, and you know, you can send it off your phone, you can receive it. And the most common response that I get was, I'm okay. If I can't touch it, it's not real money. And that's not real true, because people don't have a clue what money is. Now, I'm finding out in my recent research, and it shocked me too, that 98%, no, 90%, 92%, excuse me, 92% of what people call currency physical fiat paper that you can touch, 92% of it is invisible. Wow. 92% of the value of fiat currency is invisible. It's only 8% of the value of fiat currency that's actually tangible, because a lot of people don't understand interest rates. They don't understand derivatives. They don't understand mutual funds, bonds. All of this stuff gives value to your fiat currencies. Gross domestic product, fractionalized lending, all of these different things that banks do and central banks do. This gives the value to the fiat currency, but there's only 8% of the value of what you are touching. There's only 8% of it in physical. 98%, 92% of it is not physical. It's not tangible of the value of that currency that you have, but you don't know that because you don't know about money. And so with the Family Cash Machine, we're teaching people really the bottom line, hardcore facts, truth about money. So again, how is it that we always want to attach something physical to money? We want to attach something physical to everything we do. Now let me say, I'm gonna pull up this. I want to pull up a definition right quick, because it's kind of interesting how the human has created this tangibleness when it comes to money. But money is just an exchange of value. That's all it is. It's something that we've used to exchange value for goods or services or whatever it is. Now, how did we come to this assumption of what was valuable? Interesting. We came to this assumption of things that are valuable based on velocity, which means usability. When we use something over and over again and exchange something over and again, then the human being becomes attached to that. And it's funny because when you see Bitcoins, they got this golden circle with a B in it, because people need something physical to attach to money. But money doesn't need to be physical. Wow. If you understand the real definition of money, it doesn't have to be physical. It doesn't have to be a physical object. Okay? You can't see, physically touch data. I mean, you can print it out, whatever, but what they call that, Dave, what they call it? The megabytes, the kilobytes, the terabytes, you can't physically see that data, but that data is stored there. It's invisible, but it's there. And so again, we have to print it out to actually be able to believe it. But again, I'm just interested on how the human being has attached. We had to create coins so we can see, the value. We can see money. We can touch money, and that's how we think, because man is somewhat has a animalistic nature, and we also have a spiritual nature. And for some reason, we continue to live on the lower level of our existence, which is the animal nature, the carnal mind, the physical. When the physical is really only 90%, the physical is 10% of reality. So we live in a society where they put more emphasis on material than they do the spiritual. But nothing happens in the physical without happening first in the spiritual. And I'm gonna make my point known. Okay, this phone right here at one time was an idea. It was an idea in someone's mind. It was a thought. It was a pure thought, which was nothingness. But it wasn't nothing. It was nothingness. It was something in the nothing. Wow. So there was energy in that thought. Even though you couldn't see this phone, when that person meditated on that long enough, he eventually went and got the physical objects to bring that thing into existence. So everything that you see in your room was one time a thought, and now it's a manifestation. So the manifestation is the lowest level of that thought. It's the 10% of reality, because if this phone just sits still, if I set it here for 100 years, it'll disintegrate into nothing. It will eventually disintegrate into nothing. So all that you see is disintegrating. It's just a mirage. And so the reality of it is energy. Energy is unseen, but the energy is the real. But people need a physical, tangible object, or it's not money. but they don't realize that the credit card money that they use is not seen. You can't touch that. Of course, you can touch the credit card, but you can't touch the $100,000 in the credit card. You have to go to a bank and extract that, and a bank has to give them permission to extract those physical dollars from that card, which that money is not visible yet. So it's interesting how people say, hey, if it's not in my hand, I don't believe cryptocurrency is real because I can't touch it. Well, you can't touch the gold that's supposed to be backed by your dollars. In fact, your dollars are not backed by anything anymore. So there's nothing that you're touching but paper. And what gives it value, 92% of what gives it value can't be touched. You can't touch a derivative. You can't touch interest rates. You can't touch gross domestic product numbers or the unemployment numbers. You can't touch that, okay? These are intangible objects, okay? They're numbers, that alter the value of that particular product. So again, people's understanding of what money is all messed up. Now again, big announcement, Bitcoin is at $8,400. We've just got about $30 billion back into this industry overnight. I have all these investors that have talked bad about me and said, hey man, this industry is over with, it's dead, because they're listening to the media, they're listening to the news. And this is why all of these guys have fell off and haven't contacted me, because they're looking at what the media is talking about and they're not actually looking at the real intrinsic value of what we're doing. Again, this is the first time ever in the history of the world that money is being created by the people and not from a sovereign a ruler or something like that. Because in the beginning, kings were the ones that had all the wealth, and it trickled down to the people through permission and through his control. And then once we started to create more democratic countries and sovereign countries, then we started having these banks and these rich elite people control the money and trickle it down to the people. Now, total different paradigm shift, where the people have the sovereignty and the power to create their own money and let it trickle up. Wow. We have the power to control our exchange. We have the power to control what object that we're deciding is the object of exchange and the object of value. Wow. Total different paradigm shift. So it's going to take a little bit for us to give people this concept, because again, every time there was a transitional change, the masses didn't accept it too well, and the masses did not understand it, and they rejected it, in fact. And so that's what's going on with cryptocurrency. So, you know, I think the first time that a blogger was able to compete with the New York Times, it was afraid. They were afraid of that, you know, the powers that be or the governments were afraid of the fact that bloggers in the, you know, early 2000s were able to compete with major newsletters and major newspapers. They were afraid of that. People were afraid of that power. Okay. And it's like with a lot of different changes that go on, you know, they're afraid. People are usually afraid of change. Now, I did want to say this. What is value? Okay. Now, money is not what people think it is. Okay. So I'm going to say, let me share this with you guys. I want to pull up value right quick. I just wanted to pull up value. Let me see here. Let me pull up value. Let me see what is value. Okay, now, according to the definition of value, I want you guys to really ponder on this. Value is the regard, that something is held to deserve the importance, worth, or usefulness of something. Okay, it's a benefit, it's a gain, it's good. Okay, it's something that's available. Okay, value is a person's principles, of course, or standards of behavior and judgment of what is important in their life. So value is multiple of course, definitions. The first definition being something of importance, usefulness, something that you hold in regard, of advantage or benefit, but also it's a person's standards. So it's safe to say that money is a part of the human behavior. It's not something that's just controlled by a government or something controlled by a specific bank. It has a lot to do with human behavior and expression. I think I did a video saying that money is a human expression. And so we use money to tip our waiters. That's an expression of gratitude. We use money to support a campaign or somebody that's running for office who share our values of opinion. And therefore, I'm using money as a support of my belief and of a certain judgment. So money is not just some piece of paper, okay? Money is also could be considered to be important and beneficial and of an opinion. Money is an opinion, or value, excuse me. Value is an opinion. It's not money. We're talking about value. And so being that value is all those things, how did it get reduced to a piece of paper? And this is why people who believe in that piece of paper, live for that piece of paper, die for that piece of paper. I think the OJ said it best when they said, for the love of money, people will die, they will cheat for the love of money. That whole song, if you are putting your whole values on a piece of paper, then you have no values. You have no standards, okay? You have no human decent behavior, because you do anything for that piece of paper, because you're putting all your values on something material and not understanding the undergirding principle of what makes that thing valuable, and not understanding that it is a form of something that you use to express yourself, your beliefs and stuff like that. And one time in the world, religion was forced upon the people of each country by their monarchies. And that was a very, very dark age, when religion was forced on you by the hierarchy, because the king dictated what you were going to believe, what your kids were going to believe, how they were going to worship, what they were going to worship, and the rituals that they were going to perform. And that's very dangerous to do. And it's still done in some countries today, where they force upon kids or generations religion. And in those, some of those societies, I know they do it a lot in Saudi Arabia. Those people are born Muslims. They have no choice but to be Muslims. And some of them, when they come to America, I've seen them in Las Vegas do some way out stuff that was not, I'm sure, in accord to their religion. They were forced into that. It wasn't a choice of theirs. It wasn't something that they surrendered to. It was something that they were forced to surrender to. So the minute they got a chance to act out the freedom of their own expression, it was totally contrary to what they were raised under. And that's why I'm kind of against forcing people under religion, because you can force people to behave a certain way, but you can't force people to accept that as their own personal expression. And the minute and chance that they get to express themselves, it may be totally contrary to what the principles that you forced on them. Okay? So I notice when I'm filming, a lot of people like to come by and sing and do all kind of stuff. They want to get attention. That's funny. But anyway, we're talking about money. Okay? We're talking about money. And this is what we talk about on the Family Casualty. We want to give people a deeper understanding of money, because for some reason, when people ask me, you teach money, I said, yeah. And they said, well, what do you teach? And when I start telling them what I teach about money, they just start losing interest, like real quick. It's like, people don't want to know about money. It's like, why wouldn't you want to know about the thing that regulates your everyday life? Why wouldn't you want to know about the thing that you're working for at your job and you're taking crap from your boss from? Why wouldn't you want to know about the thing that can free you? Because with the people that have a lot of value, see, they got value, not money. People that have a lot of value, money is an expression of value, and value is an expression of your beliefs, of your human expression, of your contributions, and all that different stuff. So it's all tied in. So if we have a small group of people around the world that's controlling money, then they're controlling value. They're controlling your opinions. They're controlling your behavior. Wow. It's all tied in. And in America, a lot of people say, well, nobody's controlling our money. I bear to differ. Go to the bank right now and get 100,000. You got 100,000 in the bank? Okay, go right now and tell them I want 100,000. Oh, well, sir, you got to come back in 2 days and then we'll have it for you. Or we'll give you a money order and then you can go cash it. It's controlled. You can't go grab 100,000 right now without any kind of notice to that bank. It's your money though. I thought it was your money. Okay? Try to send $100,000 right now to Cuba. See what kind of red tape you get. They might have Homeland Security come talk to you. But it's your money though. I thought you control your money. Your money is your freedom of your expression. Suppose you have Cuban descendants or you're a descendant of Cuba and you have family members there and you have the 100,000 to send them. You can't send it. And in fact, the Cuban government will stop it because that's a socialist country over there. They may take the money. Again, it is directly tied to your freedom of expression, your freedom of your beliefs, your intentions, your goodwill, your good spirit, and your human nature. Money, value, should be freely exchanged amongst anybody in the world. And this is what makes us free. Money allows us to express our feelings, express, if I want to send my girlfriend 200,000, I got to answer 100,000 questions at the bank. Then I have to fill out all kind of papers. Then I might have to be taxed for that. Huh? But you saying that this is free. But I got to ask permission to send money to my wife, my husband, my mama. I have to be scrutinized. That transaction has to be thoroughly regulated. So it's not free. And by controlling the money, we actually are controlling human behavior. And that's the part we don't see. And this is the part that makes us frustrated. This is what causes high blood pressure. This is what causes all kind of dysfunction in families because money is not allowed to move freely. Not to you, from you. You can't right now go to, say, Arabia and say you go to Arabia and you meet some people there that really like you, Miss Jackie. And they really like Miss Jackie. And they say, you know what? Our family is billionaires. We have 5 billionaires in our family. So it's no big deal. Money's no big deal. And Miss Jackie, we like you. And we're going to send you $2 million, which give us your bank account. It's nothing. It's nothing for them. You probably won't be able to get that money because they might say that they think that this might be some terrorist activity. Who the hell is somebody to tell you you can't receive a blessing? You can't receive an expression of love from somebody and an expression of support. That's what that money or that value represents. It's not just money. It's a part of the human expression, okay? And so how did that become a tangible object that governments and banks control? When money is directly linked to the human experience through support, through expression, through all of the gamut of emotions that we go through, value is attached to that, okay? It's not just money, it's value. Okay, now I wanted to read something else to you guys that I found about currency. It says there's a difference between currency and money. So I wrote this down because this is interesting because we always talk about, people always tell me, they say, Eric, could you break down to me what cryptocurrency is and make it simple and just give it to me plain and simple. Okay, well, we just talked about how money came from above, from governments and banks, and it trickles down to the people regulatedly in a regulated manner, okay? It trickles down, and that's not a sovereign country. That's not what freedom is. Freedom is the people's ability to create value and exchange that value with one another, okay? Now, if somebody came and said, hey, Dave Lyons, could you explain to me cryptocurrency in 2 sentences, man? I don't want to hear all that stuff you guys talking. I just want to hear the simple. Well, did you know currency is not that simple? You couldn't even explain to them currency that simple. I mean, if your kid came to you and said, hey, explain to me, mommy, right away what currency is. And if you gave them the real answer of what that dollar is, okay, because when they ask you, hey, mommy, when they say, hey, mommy, what is this? You can't say it's money because it's not money, it's currency. And we did videos and videos about that. This is currency. This is not money, okay? So when somebody say, hey, daddy, explain to me what this is. And the correct answer would be, it's a system of bilateral obligations traded with the international bank that uses special drawing rights, which is virtual mega currency, which is a basket currency of all nations calibrated for the gross domestic product. These are traded on international markets, which each government has a treasury that issues debt. That debt is issued to private corporations that issues notes, and in return for that debt, to buy treasury bonds that are floated on an open market, and the yield and the price, these are then distributed to regional banks, which uses the system for fractionalized reserve and fractionalized lending and extend credit to small businesses and individuals. They're then buy and create velocity in the economy. That velocity must be carefully calibrated and adjusted for inflation so it has not created a loss in the value of that average currency that is in use as a unit of exchange. That's the answer. Now, who the hell gonna understand that? That's the real answer of what currency is. So don't you guys who's listening to this video try to ask me to give you a simple understanding of what cryptocurrency is. It's just not that simple because you don't have a full understanding even of what money is. You don't have a full understanding of what it is in your pocket. So first thing we do is teach you that. And we teach you about money and what it is. And then we teach you how we have the ability to create money. We have the ability to create value. No bank, no government, no king, no prince has the exclusive right and has cornered the market on value, because value is whatever we make it. Value is whatever we agree on that is in demand, that's something that we need, that is a commodity. That's what value is. And so cryptocurrency is just simply an exchange of value. It is data. It is decentralized encrypted data that has value because it can't be hacked. It is something that can't be stopped. It is an open source. Anybody can see my transactions on the blockchain, but you won't know it's me because it's anonymous. It's anonymity, and all these things gives it value, okay? Very valuable, because there's nothing ever in the world that was created like this. So $8,400 a Bitcoin, that's nothing. You might see 20,000, you might see 50,000, you might even see 100,000, because as me and Dave Lyons was talking about, the mining algorithms. And right now there's 12, I think it's 12 cryptocurrency, 12 Bitcoins each block that's rewarded, okay? Well, guess what? That's going to half in 2020 to 6. So when that halves, guess what? There's going to be probably twice as many computers around the world that's mining Bitcoins and using huge amounts of electricity to get just 6 Bitcoins a block. So guess what's going to happen? The price is going to adjust up to all because no miner is going to mine for a loss. It's not going to happen. People who are bringing this coin into existence, they're going to go up on the value of the coin because they're getting less coin for probably more electricity. Because every time you create a coin, it gets harder and harder and harder to solve the next algorithms. And in fact, it's so complicated, human beings can't even create these or solve these complex problems. So we have to build these huge computers to go through millions of scenarios and numbers and taking thousands and millions of guesses before they figure out some of the solutions, thus creating these Bitcoins. That is a long, drawn out, expensive process, and nobody's going to do that for a loss. So as the Bitcoins cut down in production and more people using them, and it's costing more electricity to create them, where do you think the price is going to go? Up. Okay? So this is why I laugh at people when they say, oh man, this industry is going to crash. You clearly don't understand value. You clearly don't understand what's going on. And you probably don't even understand the currency in your pocket. And it's okay. come to the Family Cash Machine. We're going to teach you guys about this. You can't go wrong with cryptocurrency. There's no way you're going to lose with the right cryptocurrency. Now, I want to share something with you guys. Today, a guy called me and he said, have you ever heard of Fuel Coin? And I was like, no, I never heard of that. He said, well, it's a real cryptocurrency. I said, are you sure? Because all cryptocurrencies should have a source code. All cryptocurrencies should be exchangeable for another cryptocurrency. If they're not on any markets, it is not a real cryptocurrency. It's just something somebody made up. It could be a cryptocurrency. Let me change that. But it's a private one. It's not open. And this is all about open source. This is all about open free trade, uncensored, unregulated, uncontrolled. And so this is what this is about. And the more you understand this, the more you understand governments can't stop it. They can't stop it. There's no way they can stop it. Even though they can try to tell and scare people from using it, they can't stop it because it's open source, meaning that no one owns it. There's no patent. There's no trademark. And the code is available for anybody to create on top of, and continue to expand it. And it's decentralized because it's no server. There's no one server holding all this information. It's open in a network of people connected all over the world. So there's no way you can stop this. It's just out of control. It's one of the most innovative creations ever in the history of the technological world. And it's levels to it. It's levels to it. We're on the first application of it. We're on the first application of this decentralized technology, which is cryptocurrencies. It's the first level of the Internet of Money. It's the first application of the Internet of Money. So we all know with the internet, there was more than just email application. The first application was emails, but then after that, we had all these other things come out, online shopping and social media and all kind of other applications that spun off from this internet. Many, many applications, and even small apps now on your phone, apps on apps on apps. And that's what this technology internet was about. But now we're in the first application of the Internet of Money, which is cryptocurrency. And it's going to create more and more applications that's going to disrupt banking, is going to disrupt lawyers, it's going to disrupt real estate, music industry again, and it's going to disrupt the disruptors in the music industry, those that disrupted the music industry. This technology is going to disrupt them and put more power in the people's hand, more power in people's hand, more value in people's hands. So the people, individuals, the masses can create their own value and control their own rights without using any record companies, without using any publishing companies, none of that stuff. And so this technology has the ability to create so many more disruptions in the benefit of the people and kind of invert things from these top corporations coming down, like the top centralized companies who have the distribution, and then they trickle things down to the little people and let a few people get through their little systems and their funnels. No, this is going to be something where the people will be able to create from the bottom up, and they'll be able to control value. They'll be able to control all of their property rights, their trade rights, their intellectual properties, and all this other stuff will be created, controlled, and the value would be solely owned by individuals and not corporations. Total different paradigm shift, okay? But in order for this to be used properly, we got to educate people so they don't give the power back to corporations or back to centralized authorities, okay? Because that's a choice. Even though the technology is here to decentralize you and to make you more in power, you can relinquish that power through ignorance and not understanding that you have the power. So this is why we're putting so much on education and educating the people so the people could be empowered by that education. Now, I was looking at this coin, and I think I'm gonna, I might go to the internet and share my screen with you guys and show you this coin. Okay, let me see. Let me share my screen and show you guys this coin, because I don't want people falling for this stuff, because again, myself and Dave Lyons, we came into this industry. I came in through a company called OneCoin, and I lost about $5 grand over a year's time. But I look at it this way: I didn't lose. It cost me $5 grand to get on the right track, to learn the knowledge that I'm supposed to be learning and to understand this. And what better way than to get spanked on the butt? You know, what better way to learn something to get spanked on the butt? And $5 is a nice little spanking. I think I still got webs on my butt from that one. So, you know, so let me look at this. Of course, you guys see Bitcoin at $8,400. Now, where's all the naysayers now? Now, I guarantee you, people are going to be running back to this industry, you know, trying to get in as it's going up. And that's what people do. And they should have got in when it was 6,000. Now it's 8,000. You dummies. You should have got in when it's 6,000. Why are you guys waiting until it's going up? When you could be with the family cash machine learning how to buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. Buy it when it dips, okay? You'd be way up right now if you bought it when it was just last week, 6,300. You're talking about $2,000 per coin for doing nothing. Nothing. If you had 10 coins, you just made 20 grand in 1 week for doing nothing, but just being on time and having the right information and knowing what to do with it. And believe me, people like Roger Ver sitting on 300,000 coins, I can only imagine what he just made. I mean, I can't even imagine what he made. He's sitting on the beach somewhere. He did a live cast this morning with Crypto, the guy Crypto, and he said that he had to leave his friends on the beach, and they're having some cocktails on the beach, and to do that interview. So, you know, while he's having cocktails, and this thing shoots up to 8,400 with 300,000 times 300,000, 2,000 times 300,000, you do the math. That guy made a sugar honey iced tea bunch of money. And, you know, and this is what this is about. So a lot of these people coming to Eric and saying, hey, Eric, I'm not buying crypto right now because it ain't doing nothing. All these investors is calling me, hey, it dropped 13 billion. Hey, what about this article? They're going to stop it. Hey, they're going to re-regulate it. Hey, what about this article? This article, China just stopped it. Hey, what about this article? You know, all these people trying to find all these little stupid things. At the end of the day, this industry has made more millionaires than any other industry in the last 5 years. It has created the youngest millionaires in the world in the shortest amount of time. And it has created billionaires in the shortest amount of time. So do the math. People making money every day. There's millionaires being made every day in the cryptocurrency space. You just don't know because you're not educating yourself and you're listening to the media, and they're not going to tell you and share with the masses because they don't want the masses using this, for one, because it's empowering the masses and it's cutting the control that they have on you. Because when you control your own money, then you control your expression, you control your opinions. You're able to actually back your opinion and get more support from other people with your opinions if you have money. Right now, if you had, say, $100 million and you wanted to take $1 million and just blog and then just paid for blogs all over Facebook. Let's say you want to pay $1 million in advertising. You can do that. You got 100 million. Do you know how many people you will influence to change their opinions around the world with that money? Do you know how many people will see your ad every day for the next 5-6 months? Do you know how many people will start repeating what you just your offer or whatever it is your opinion? Oh, global warming, the world is going to melt, and you know the ice glaciers are melting. Whatever it is you want to put out, if you had the money to get it out to enough people, you have the power to change human opinion. Wow. So money is very important. Value is very important. You're using that currency as value, and you're using that value to persuade opinion. It's all connected. So the people that have the most money in the world, they control the opinions around the world. And this is what we're talking about. And this is why this movement that we're in is so important. You know, I have fun with this, but at the same time, I'm very serious about what we're doing because I can see where we have a part in changing history in the world. We have a part of changing history. We can be a part of something major. And some of you guys out there listening to us every day and not making a move, you either going to be on the sidelines watching the history, or you could be a part of this thing. But you do have an opportunity to be a part of history as money is changing. The definition of money is changing. The understanding of money is becoming more clear to people, and they're forced to do that, because if not, guess what's going to happen? You guys are going to be left behind, and you're going to sink with a lot of these countries right now that are creating this huge, massive default of governments and capital around the world. So let me say this. Here's the coin that the guy sent me. I couldn't find it at first, but now I found it. It's called Fuel Coin. I think it was
I was gonna tell you that was a real cryptocurrency on CoinMarketCap.
It is a real cryptocurrency. But did you look at it?
No, I never looked at it. I just know I
not this one.
seen it.
Not this one. It's the Ether Party, not that one.
No, you said Fuel.
Yeah, Fuel Coin. I had it earlier today. Where is it at? It's not showing up.
It used to be on market. It used to be on CoinMarketCap.
It is on CoinMarketCap. I saw it today, but it's let me Google it, because I saw it today. It's on. I saw it today. Let me pull it up on Google. It's not coming up, but it is on. It is on there. I'm gonna pull it up right now. I'm gonna show it to you guys. It's called. Let me see. It's got a. All these coins have a symbol, so I forgot the symbol. Let me see what the symbol is. Okay, Fuel Coin. Where's it at? Here it is. FC2. That's what it is. That's the symbol. FC2. FC2. Boom. Okay. And then coming up there. All right, let me click it here. CoinMarketCap. Boom. Okay, let me share my screen with you guys. There it is, right here. Okay. There it is. You see it? You see it? You guys see it? Fuel Coin. So the guy, it's a guy trying to sell these coins. And I looked at this coin. I said, man, this coin doesn't have a website. If you go to the website don't come up. Website don't come up. So I can't find a white paper. I can't find even how many coins is in circulation. They got circulating 101 million circulating, okay? But what's the value here? They got a cap rate. I don't know how they got a cap rate with no current volume here. It's a question mark. So I pass on this one, and I told him I would pass on this one because just not enough data here. And it looks like to me that this coin is like under a penny, but at the same time, it's like it's under a penny. So let's say somebody got 2-3 million of these, or 5 million of these, and they get a whole bunch of people to buy this coin, and the value shoots up and goes to a penny, and then that guy who's got 5-6 million of them, he dumps his. That's called a pump and dump. And this is the kind of stuff we're trying to keep people away from, because it's giving the cryptocurrency space a bad name. Now, when I pulled this up, Dave, I think on Bitcoin Talk, impressively, this particular coin looks like it started. It's not coming up now. In 2014. Look at that. You guys see that? This Bitcoin Talk started in 2014. And this coin still doesn't have no value. Don't even have a white paper. I can't even see what the coin is about. That's a bad deal for me. Okay? So with that, you guys got to beware. Okay, they got the GitHub source code. Like Dave said, it is a real coin. Dave's right. It is a real coin. I found the coin. It was a real coin, but there's no value here. I don't even know what the coin actually does. What's the utility of it? Or is it just a currency, cryptocurrency to be used as a currency? I don't know. I really don't have a clue what it is right now. But it is a real coin. And, you know, one of my friends brought it to my attention because he knew I knew what to do and how to evaluate it. And I taught him some things in the evaluation of how I was evaluating this thing. And it just didn't even have enough it didn't have enough data for me to even evaluate really. So I kind of just said, no, I'm good with this one. And, you know, I showed him that I wanted to make sure for him, because the guy's trying to get him to invest, I want to make sure for him that it was an actual real coin, and it wasn't a coin that, you know, was like a one coin or a billionaire coin or something like that. It didn't have any value anywhere, and wasn't even had a source code to it, or didn't have a what you call um, wasn't on the blockchain at all. So that's what I did want to make sure. And so, like I said, it is a real coin, but it's what they call a sugar honey iced tea coin. I don't want to say the word because I got kids behind me. It's a sugar honey iced tea coin. That's what I think. So with that, we're gonna get ready to close out the call. And right now, we'll open up for a few questions and answers from the Family Cash Machine before we close out, which is what we do every day. Anybody has anything they want to add of value to this particular call and message to the public? And again, anybody out there that wants to join the Family Cash Machine, I would suggest you guys click the link under here and go to the Family Cash Machine, sign up as a free member, and like this page, like this video, hit the thumbs up, and we'll give you a free ebook, and we'll also give you some free classes right now that you can take to start learning about how you can position yourself for one of the greatest exchanges of wealth in the history of the world, with money definition and the usage of money changing. So go ahead, you guys. Anybody got anything they want to share?
Good here.
Hey man, everything is good. I'm enjoying it all. So you know, it's good. I just had a question though.
Okay.
Can I join the Family Cash Machine? I'm just messing with you,
Yeah.
We out of spot.
man.
We have no more room.
Right? Hey, yeah.
Hey, Antonio, I got your contact information though. If something clear up, I'll get with you.
Already, man. You know, I'm trying to avoid the government at all costs, man. So.
Okay, anybody else got something to say before we go out? No?
I want to commend you and Dave. I went through the site, and I mean, it's just beautiful to me.
Thank you, brother. It's coming along, and thank you, strategic man.
And Dave, you say hold up on the link.
Yeah, don't use your referral link just yet. Give me a chance to work on that, and I'll tell you I win.
Okay.
Okay.
Appreciate you liking the site too, man. I've been working hard in the mug on that.
Man, it's evident.
It's starting to come alive. It's starting to come alive. It's alive. It's alive. It's coming alive. And I can't wait till we finish all these classes to get on there, because like I said, you guys, it's layers of classes. We got a basic money class, a basic cryptocurrency class. We got a more detailed money class and a more detailed cryptocurrency class. We got a basic blockchain technology and a more detailed blockchain technology. We have a super extensive money class. Then we have a super extensive cryptocurrency class. And then we have a super sophisticated blockchain, futuristic, the next 10-year technology class. And then we have investment, basic investment, detailed investment, and advanced investments. So there's levels of this. And so, of course, it's going to cost. It's not going to be free, but the value that they're getting is going to be way more value than what they're spending in money, because this is something not like a degree today that you might not even be able to use to extract any funds out of it. You might not even be able to extract any value out of your degree. This is something that immediately you can extract value. Immediately you can tap into one of the greatest technologies in the world and harness this thing to start creating not just a little money, but the type of money that creates generational wealth. So, and we haven't even added the wealth classes yet, because that's coming next. Once all these get done, Then we come up with the wealth classes, so you'll know what to do with your money, how you can protect your money, how you can set your thing up to where nobody can touch you because your structure is so complex. When they see you, when they see your structure, they're gonna say, and there's nothing we can do because we're gonna do the 90% invisible. We're gonna do the 90% of reality is invisible. Well, guess what? 90% of your income should be invisible. How about that? That's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna make it so sophisticated to where you're like Donald Trump. Hey, where's the money? How do you know what I made? I don't know what I made. Hey, how about that? But I control everything. So go ahead, Antonio. I think Antonio got something to say.
Just a quick question. Like for instance, with the so say that we already in the family cash machine.
You going in and out, Antonio?
Right.
You going in and out?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but you kind of going in and out.
I was asking, like, my bag, man.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I was gonna say was like for with us that's already in the, say for instance like the cycler and stuff like that. Do we also have to go like each level? Say if we wanted to go to the guru level, does that same like that you get, the rate for that? Does that same rate apply for us, or is it kind of like is it a difference, or I'm not for sure. Just asking, man. Just inquiring, man. Like for instance, say if you got the guru package that's for $10,000, say we already up in the cycler, right? So basically, we would have to like level up our cycler to get to that level to get the guru, even though we're already in the family cash machine.
No, the family cash machine might get a discount that's so incredible you're not gonna believe it. If that class is $10,000, y'all might be paying $1,000. That's the benefits of being a core member. You know what I'm saying? So, but a lot of the other smaller classes, we're just gonna let you guys just like grandfather you into them because we need to test them and see how they are and get your opinions on them and stuff like that. But that major one, you might only spend $1,000. But how many core members do we have? We don't have many. So that's not gonna be a problem for us. But again, we want to make sure that Family Cash Machine core members have every benefit of that name, core members. When we started doing our conventions in Las Vegas and in Marina Del Rey and Miami, and when we start doing these conventions, we're gonna probably do 3 a year, and you guys have carte blanche. You guys will be VIP, front row, or some of you guys might even be on stage, sitting backstage or right there on the stage. So it's gonna be a lot of benefits, of course, and it's gonna be discounts on your hotels, all kind of little bells and whistles for core members. Once we really start building this beast, the way we're gonna build it, because they coming. I already know they're coming. They don't know they're coming, but I know they're coming because I know what we have, and I know what the world's going to. I know what the economy is going to. I know the undergirding BS that's awaiting for all the fiat currencies in the world, and they're going to be running to something. People are going to want some kind of solution. And so we're already structured. We're already set up. We're already teaching people. We already have amassed groups of people who we're taught how to maneuver through this bull crap and even understand why it is so messed up. And so they coming. Believe me, they coming. They don't have a choice but to come or sink with the ship, one or two. So, I'm not begging nobody to come in. They're going to want to know answers. They're going to want solutions to the problems that's coming to not just this country, but globally when it comes to fiat currency, because they've exhausted that thing as far as they could. And they thought that once it collapsed, they would be able to introduce the next thing to the people, which was even greater controlling, which people have read books about, New World Order and all this other stuff, and one world currency. That's the stuff that they were trying to introduce. And it's just been a major monkey wrench in the game when Satoshi Nakamoto anonymously stayed anonymous, created this decentralized token and gave it so many different functions and disrupted the whole world of finance. And he kept himself undercover in doing it, but introduced the idea. Now it's over with. That's going to be very hard to do. Maybe a few people they can fool, but they can't undo decentralization, even if they create some centralized tokens to be somewhat of a international token. Like I was reading that they're getting ready to create in California, strategic man. California is getting ready to come out with I don't know if it's just California. I think the country. Yeah, the country is coming out with an international ID. You know, and it's kind of long overdue because I think we're one of the only countries that don't really have an international ID. I mean, we have passports, but not really an international ID. Each state has its own driver's license, but not a international ID. So now they're coming out with this international ID, and you're going to have that when you travel, even from state to state. So that's the new thing they're talking about now. But, you know, I'm glad I don't have to succumb to an international currency, because even though it's an international currency, it's going to be distributed by the same people who destroyed the old currencies. So I don't trust them. So the beautiful thing about it is now I have an option. I have an option to come up out of that whole economic system that has been controlled and manipulated by a few people. And now I have the option of using something that the people could use amongst one another to create their own value, independent of any government or bank. And it's just a wonderful feeling to understand what we're doing. Some people got into this industry and by default made some money because they got in at the right time. We getting in this industry on purpose, understanding what we're doing, understanding the problem, and purposely putting ourselves in a position to catch generational wealth, because $100 million is generational wealth. I don't care what nobody says. If you have the right kind of information with that money, $50 million is generational wealth, because what you should be doing with that money is putting that money in a perpetual direction to continue to create streams of income for you. And so it's just going to keep growing to a point where your great-grandchildren, you know, who are not even born yet, are going to have way more money than your children. And they didn't even do anything, and they're not even born yet, because the family put that money in a direction that just continues to grow. I'm going to say this to you guys on this call. We watched a gentleman. I put a video on the Discord of a guy who had a mining facility that probably cost about $3 million. Okay, it's on our Discord, and me and Dave did the math on about how much he spent on this mining facility. And that mining facility he spent cost about $3 million. This guy is making 7 Bitcoins a day. Okay, now that don't sound like a lot, but 7 Bitcoins a day is about $1 million and some change a month. It's like about $1.7 million, $1.8 million a month. And also it's like 20-something million a year that he's making. Okay, he's making almost $2 million a month. I think it's $2 million a month. He's making, no, about $1 million. It was $1.3 million, something like that, 1.3 a month. So that means he's making 20-something million a year. So who the hell is saying there's no money in this? Who the hell is saying that, oh, there's no money in Bitcoin right now? It's not popping right now. Huh, for real? There's people making real money in this space, man. Real money. I mean, life-changing income. And this guy's been running this thing for a while, at least 5 years. And he'll probably be running it for the next 10 years. He's probably expanding his operations to make 40, 50 million a year. A year. Even at $6,000 a Bitcoin when it was down. Now it just went up. So imagine if this guy's sitting on a bunch of Bitcoins, his value just went up. So who's saying that, oh, because it's not going up, there's no money in this? This is the future. There's always money in the future. We just got to teach people about the future. So I'm going to go ahead and close out this call. My battery's about to die. It's been a great call. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the next call. Again, you guys out there, if you like this video, click that link underneath there. Start learning about this stuff. Come into the Family Cash Machine. Get your free lessons and get your free ebook, The Greatest Exchange of Wealth in History, and start learning how to position yourself for generational wealth, not just a little money. We're talking about generational wealth. So with that, you guys, we're going to sign out. This is Eric Vaughn. It's Family Cash Machine. Peace.
Peace, peace, Family Cash.
All right.